My lord, is there any timeline for that integrated system? The previous suggested that there's no time.
The court will be apprised in a period of 3 weeks from the date. The court will be apprised within 3 weeks.
May I just make one small
progress we have made in commissioning these facilities.
A small comment on the integrated system.
Yes.
But we welcome the
pilot project is already going on in this.
That we have recorded. We saw that in the affidavit.
Just hear me for a second. It is the demand of the doctors has been for an integrated system, and we are happy to note that an integrated system will be put in place. However, my lord, the real issue is referrals are made to hospitals which are incapable of handling an emergency. So the integrated referral system must ensure that the referral which is made is to a hospital which has the adequate expertise, the adequate doctors, the adequate equipment. What is happening is references are being made to hospitals which don't have this. That's why the patient gets upset. It's not about the doctors getting upset. It's the patient who gets upset. Please allow me to finish. Please allow me to finish. This is not fair. What is happening is the patients are getting upset.
Still not in place.
Will you please allow me to finish? Well, the patients are getting upset because referrals are made to the wrong hospitals which don't have the capacity. And then they take out their anger on the doctors who are on duty. So all I'm saying is when they make this integrated referral system, they must ensure that the reference is made to a hospital which has a free bed. Sometimes referrals are made to hospitals which don't have a free bed. Secondly, that the referral has the necessary expertise to deal with the particular ailment. And thirdly, that the doctor is available with that specialization. Then the patient will be satisfied. If the patient is satisfied, the doctor will not be attacked. That is the real problem.
Kindly have page 9.
It's about the patients not getting what they want.
Since the integrated hospital management system is being rolled out by the state government,
We completed last November.
And is expected to be completed by 1 November 2024. The state government shall take due steps to ensure that the IHMS inter alia factors in bracket 1 the availability of free beds, bracket 2 the availability of expertise in the medical health facility, and bracket 3 the availability of doctors with the requisite specialization.
And in medicine, my lord, sometimes medicine is not available.
You've said facility.
Yes, my lord, very well.
Many things
Medical facilities will include everything.
We have made that broad suggestion. That is a valid point that they have made.
Appreciate, but it has to be resolved there.
We've flagged it, that's all.
Well, just one suggestion.
Disregard just one more suggestion.
The affidavit, they are said with regard to CCTV being installed in the lifts. And the reason I'm telling your lordship is because of a horrific incident that took place in the Calcutta High Court, where one of a junior who had just joined was molested by a court staff inside the lift. The Kolkata police came, they did not arrest him. He was allowed to go, and subsequently he surrendered and he was granted bail. The Calcutta High Court otherwise is completely covered except for 1 or 2 dark spots which are not covered. But the lifts were not covered. And this poor girl was molested inside the lift. So it's just a suggestion that they should also install CCTV in the lifts, which is very, very important.
You've heard the point, just take note of it. The officers are
I have something to say, but I have a serious objection of this off the cuff fellow without any.
Just give me a suggestion.
Just to go on the media.
It's not the media.
This is what let's not get lost in this. Suggestion has been made. It's been made within the hearing of everybody. We have not passed any directions. The officers are here. Let them just bear it in mind. That's all.
No, there is one more suggestion and it's not off the cuff. This is in our prayer. We are seeking a digital bed vacancy monitor outside each medical college.
We've just flagged that while passing an order on the IHMS. We've dealt with the availability of beds.
Yes, my lord. It was my lords may.
That's why we flagged that. Ms. Jaising just made the point.
The bed
flagged it.
As long as it's there, my lord. My lord, just one more thing I didn't want to interrupt while my lords were dictating the order. Is that the notification setting up the security audit committee is
in front of me, and it includes only various officials, bureaucrats selected by the state government. We are not saying disband it. We are not saying replace it, my lords. We are saying if the representatives of the senior doctors and the junior doctors may be on that committee and work together to verify that the work is being done and constructively make suggestions, then it would only be to the benefit.
We have work for them to be in a committee which will look at their suggestions, right? If they are not at work, how would
they are all at work, my lords? My lords, they are all at work.
They are joined now.
They are all at work.
Except seven. There is a relay strike, under strike of 7 doctors going on, but we'll handle that.
all right. Just consider this, that on the security audit committee,
They are wanting, Lord, is that they given a media. We are constantly meeting the doctors and doing what they are wanting as far as possible. But
My
what
lord,
they are
that
wanting is that
not
hold
true.
elections, Lord, in every hospital. That is not.
Please, we may just make our submission, and
You
that
can't do elections.
Trivedi may, of course, must respond.
Mr. Rakesh Reddy, then senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, has assured the court that the representatives of the state government are continuing to be in active contact with the doctors so that all steps which are being taken to upgrade the infrastructure will duly factor in the concerns of the doctors.
And any doctor can come up, Lord, and tell us.
We made that.
But my lords, then we will place before my lords, and then we don't want to trouble my lords. If we can just be on the committee, my lords, then that will be helpful.
I think we'll get on.
I will trouble.
Mr. Sibyl, anything else now for this time?
Wanted to file a status report on behalf of the Calcutta policeman.
Yes.
Just take it on record.
Your lordship will now kindly hear me for a few minutes.
Circulated already, that's all.
My lord,
This is doing what? Because we are investigating.
That is the active
Yes, that investigation is going on. Therefore, I don't want to make an issue of it.
my lord, may I just be permitted to say a few words?
Have you given a copy to the solicitor?
No, madam, these are a status report. Don't give a copy.
My lord,
Investigation is going on. Investigation. I'm not difficulty because
what is it?
report was asked.
What is he submitting? We
don't make situation, madam.
What are they next to?
My lords, there's just one more issue.
Yeah.
This is the Ratire Shathi issue that my lords had said that due to the fact,
Yes.
may I?
Yes.
Due to the fact that there was a civic volunteer that is the main accused, that the band of civilians that they are recruiting, that they should consider and perhaps disband. They have doubled down on that. And they have various notifications that I have placed in my application. Now, my lords, if I may point out the fact that they won't deny the fact that they have doubled down on that, but if I may point out the Calcutta High Court order that they are violating in this regard, saying that no law and order functions may be discharged by civic volunteers and such civilians. This court in Nandini Sundar also said that SPOs must be disbanded and that civilians cannot discharge these functions, my lord. So, my lords, we have placed 3 or 4 orders, if my lords will permit, to set aside then the Ratire Shathi scheme. We have placed the application. If they would like to respond to it, we're happy to argue it on another date or today, whatever my lords.
Nobody is being now recruited in the manner in which that person who is involved in the crime was recruited. He was not recruited under the Private Security Agencies Regulation Act 2005, under which all the hospitals in India, including the public hospitals in Delhi, they are all recruiting under this act, which is an act which is meant for having the security agencies employed, which security agencies are licensed, and pursuant to that, they are employed. So now all recruitments are being done under this act as everywhere. So it's a central act, not our act.
My lord,
It is formally being applied everywhere in the entire country.
My lord, this act was interpreted.
Private Security Agencies Regulation Act 2005. I've got a copy of this.
Hospital
No, it's general.
It's really about recruitment of private security guards. We had this in Maharashtra, I remember, called the Maharashtra Private Security Guards Regulation of Employment and Welfare Act. The first act in the country.
Like this Group 4, etc.
Recruited for private security.
at the home residential.
But they are now saying they're not recruiting anybody under this act at all.
My lord, in their affidavit, which we have somehow managed to read.
Why don't you do this? Next time you want to argue something, give everybody some notice of an application. Otherwise, we keep on springing up issues like this.
My lords, we served it 2 days ago. We served it 2 days ago.
Allow governments to function, we can't take over their powers over here. I mean, we are overall exercising some control, we are supervising, monitoring, because a very serious accident took place, very serious incident took place, sorry. But let them do their work on the ground and come back to us, report to us on the next.
My lords, just on this point, if my lords may then ask them, number one, are they recruiting such people? Because in para 5 of the affidavit,
they're not recruiting anybody under the Act of 2005.
No, we are recruiting under 2000. Earlier it was
my
they
lords,
were being
private security. Why should they recruit under the Act of 2005?
Under administrative orders, they were being recruited. And they were not, mainly meant, this gentleman who is, and I am using this expression, gentleman is not yet convicted. So he was not recruited under this act. He was recruited under the government notifications, administrative orders issued by the police. So now they were not meant, he was not posted even in the hospital. So it's not that somebody who is deliberately chosen and posted in the hospital, he has done something other than he was not being supervised. So that was it.
Hello, the CBI charge sheet said he was.
With these civic volunteers who thought that
they are not
in their current affidavit, they have said so, my lords. In their current affidavit.
This act.
How many such civic volunteers do you have in West Bengal?
1,514 at last count.
We've given the figures which your lordships have mentioned in the order.
But how are they recruited? Who recruits them actually?
This is now under the security agencies.
So these 1,500 civic volunteers whom you have, who recruits them? What are their qualifications?
So it is the security agency which recruits.
Kolkata police.
They are either the
recruiting them, my lord.
Where notification
private security agency
was appointed,
recruit,
and that notification was under challenge.
Agencies possibly are registered under this.
So this civic volunteer,
the people are not selected
this
by the
person who committed the crime was a civic volunteer, supposedly.
Yes.
civic volunteer.
What was he recruited?
They recruited through a notification, my lord.
That's a government.
They were recruited under this government.
That notification was under challenge before Kolkata High Court, my lord.
Administrative level by the police. They were not.
It was posted at the hospital.
Continuing with
No, they are not being
All
posted in the hospital.
Para 5.
All posting in the hospital.
He was posted in the hospital.
Are you recruiting these people generally under that 2011 government order?
And my lords,
But
what is the verification done? The man had cases against him, particularly of domestic violence. None of that verification is done when a man is appointed as a civic volunteer, which gives him access, including a motive.
Therefore, Mr. Dwivedi, on the next occasion, we want this to be flagged. How many civic volunteers do you have? What is the verification of antecedents that you do? Where are they posted? Are you posting them
Now
in
the
school?
civic volunteers are not being posted.
They joined their place of duty.
Where else are they being posted?
They control the police stations. The entire police station is now run by the civic volunteers.
This is Ratri Shathi, night duty.
Tell us,
We'll file an affidavit.
the civic state of West Bengal shall file an affidavit on before the next date of listing, explaining, bracket 1, the legal source of authority for the recruitment of civic volunteers to this date, semicolon, bracket 2, the modalities for recruitment, semicolon, the qualifications for recruitment, semicolon, bracket 4, the verification of antecedents which is carried out before recruitment is made, semicolon, bracket 5, the institutions in which the civic volunteers are assigned duties, semicolon, and bracket 6, the payments made to civic volunteers, whether on a daily or monthly basis, and the budgeted outlays in that regard. Full stop. The affidavit shall specifically disclose the selection process which is followed for the recruitment of the civic volunteers and the steps which have been taken to ensure that such volunteers do not operate in any event in sensitive establishments such as hospitals and schools,
So good.
which may be particularly vulnerable.
Or police stations, my lords. My lords, or police stations, my lords may consider. hospitals, schools, or police stations?
Let us file the affidavit, then let us file the affidavit, then
You first file your affidavit. We want to know what are you doing, because otherwise this is a nice process of conferring political patronage on people who are totally unverified and
We're so grateful, Balu.
Sourcing.
So this particular person,
The affidavit shall specifically disclose whether any of the civic volunteers are assigned duties in or in connection with police stations or the investigation of crime.
because the vehicle assigned belongs to the police commissioner, it's registered in his name. His job apparently was to assist police personnel in the hospital and their families. And he has complete access and lives in a barrack adjacent to the hospital. So it's wrong to say that he's not associated and not given.
Something we want to look at closely.
My lords.
One more thing is that
Let them first disclose the data, then we will hear your submissions.
My lords, could they serve us a day before? Because this was just a few minutes before the hearing.
Serve a day before the statement.
So great. My lord, would your lordship just hear me for 5 minutes before? Few minutes.
We'll take it up now in the next data.
just one word may be added.
My lord,
We have to complete another hearing.
Number one, the state of West Bengal in its affidavit has admitted that all doctors are back at work. Please, you may not make a note of that. So that this allegation is no longer made against them, that they are not at work. They have said on a signed affidavit that they are back at work. Now, my lord, there is one that there are nevertheless outstanding issues. I said it on the last occasion, despite the fact that there are outstanding issues, the doctors have agreed to go back to work. They have kept their word made by me to this honorable court. They've gone back for work. Only a few of them remain on hunger strike. That is a fact which I will not deny. Now, my lord, I just want to point out the reason for that and see whether there can be some resolution so that even that hunger strike is withdrawn. My submission is towards that end. Now, my lord, in the application filed by my learned friend, Ms.
Only doctors are on hunger strike.
11 doctors are on hunger strike only.
doctors in turns, Lord.
Only, no, my lord.
That's not correct.
At all the
But not-
28 medical colleges.
But not your lordship may hear me. We are the doctors on strike, on hunger strike. The 8 doctors are on hunger strike. Out of 8, 3 have been hospitalized.
all
1
7.
second, please. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Just wait. 3 of them, their condition deteriorated, and for that reason, they have been hospitalized. The rest continue to be on hunger strike. Now, I want to just leave you, my lord, with a thought and a suggestion. We are all interested that this hunger strike be withdrawn because we are worried about the health of these doctors. Now, my lord, I want to point out to one letter which is annexed at page 90 of my learned friend Ms. Karuna's application. I will just read the relevant passage to you.
Please tell us what it is about.
I'll tell. It's addressed by the state of West Bengal. No, it's addressed to the state of West Bengal, my lord. And it says, election to students' unions have not been conducted since the year 2022. Now, my lord, your lordship will take it from me. The law prescribes the conduct of elections annually by the university. My lord, your lordship will take it from me that the cause of what has happened in RG Corps is the fact that from 2022 onwards, no student elections have been held. And as a consequence, nominated people, my lord, nominated people from different political parties are performing the role which a student union would otherwise perform. This is the cause of what has happened in RG Corps. Favoritism and threat culture is coming from this absence of complying with statutes. The law says you shall hold a student election every year, and that's the responsibility of the state, of the university.
Ms. Jackson, our entry into this area would be far beyond the campus.
In that case, I have a request to make, please.
Can we concentrate on the child's deaths?
I have a request to make.
Lord, where are we
My
leading?
lord, I'm sorry. Let me allow me to finish. My lord, I have a request. request to make.
That is, we would be expanding the ambit of a proceeding.
Well, allow me to make a request. 1 minute, please. My lord, please. I'm concluding. Allow me if they don't interrupt. My lord, allow me to make a request.
Any relief which you want to seek in that regard before the bench under 226, you can move to
Yes,
the High Court.
your lordship may give me liberty.
Where the High Court
Your lordship will be satisfied with that order. Your lordship may kindly. No, my lord, I have filed an application in this court. The argument will be it's pending in the Supreme Court. I just want that clarification.
That is happening.
I want that clarification that they can go to the High Court.
You withdraw your application so that you can pursue your remedies in accordance with law.
I'll do that.
My lords, very
One thing.
briefly, the task force.
They give the court master the number and he will
Let
permit
me
you to
finish.
withdraw the application.
1 second. My lord, just hear me out. Lord, this is not right.
They are belittling the whole exercise.
Ms. Jaising, we are not going to enter into the field of
I
election.
understand.
Constitutional bodies, that's not the remit of this proceeding.
I understand what is being put to me, but before you pass an order saying withdraw the application, your lordship may say withdraw
There's
the
no
prayer
application record.
in the application for the conduct of an election. There are other prayers which
My lord,
may
that might be
remain.
a good solution. To just that one line to say that prayer is
So the
withdrawn.
prayer in the application for the conduct of elections so as to enable the petition applicants to pursue such remedies that are available.
My lords, I am also.
High Court with liberty.
All right, now follow J. Davis. We have a
I'm withdrawing the same prayer. I am withdrawing the same prayer.
I am a rather pressing, but I'll be
I'm
very brief.
withdrawing the same prayer. My lords,
With respect to the police commissioner's revelation of the identity of the victim, your lordship had not passed an oral order and told the other side to go to the Calcutta High Court and say that this is within their remit and not within your lordship's remit. But unfortunately, I didn't think I'd have to come back after your lordship was so clear about it. But unfortunately, my lord, when we went back to the Calcutta High Court and the Calcutta High Court has passed an order now saying, in view of what was said, we need a clarification. What was told to the High Court by Ms. Guruswamy on that day was that the application is not disposed of. It's still pending.
Now they've withdrawn the application.
No. Intervention applications are pending here before my lords.
But that's what they do. Intervention applications can't prevent the High Court from assuming jurisdiction of
We kindly see the High Court's order.
My lord, the High Court is very hesitant and quite understandable.
Yes, you are aggrieved by an order of the High Court. Challenge it in an SLP.
No, I am not aggrieved by the order.
We are not going to allow orders of the High Court to just be shown to us and we.
No. My lord, that's not the point. What do I do, my lord? I came to this.
And applications are.
Why, if the High Court rejects the petition,
They haven't rejected the petition. They've asked for a clarification. They say, please see, my lord.
they're not going to issue any clarification on the data.
But then what do I do, my lord? This is a serious matter. Please see.
To invite an order of dismissal, come here, we'll deal with the matter.
But they're not dismissing it.
We are not going to short the order of the.
Yes, my lord, please see it's a short order.
You can show the live.
Yeah. No, I can show your lordship the live streaming of what is happening.
We have copies of the order. The High Court.
But this is why I asked the lordship to just put it in the order last time.
They have interventions here. They filed writ petitions there. They filed responses 20 minutes before the hearing.
This is obfuscation by Ms. Guruswamy and it's not fair to me.
This never state plus. We'll see.
But because this matter is pressing, Malad, there is a serious violation by a chief.
See what we can do with
Yes.
that.
Given the next week, my lords, of November 6th for us to file a response.
We're heading for an interview. We'll close the proceeding here. We've spent enough time. We have a half an hour now.
Not may I just oblige, but.
In 3 weeks, we'll take it up after the Diwali holidays.
Look, there are two issues of immense public importance that
On the next day, please. On the next
Very well.
Lord, may I just renew my request at liberty to approach the High Court? I don't want to be stuck, Lord. I don't want to
We have said, if you want to do that, to pursue your remedies in accordance with law, we have said that.
Very well, Lord. Much obliged. Much obliged.